Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23. It is now time for round 14. It is time for the Japanese GP of Motegi in our Moto2 career mode. So here we go then guys, in pole position. The qualifying went very easily, so I'm expecting today's video to be a dominant race victory, but who knows what's going to happen. So with that in mind, although yes, it's great to be earning back those championship points, I'm still making content and I want this to be interesting, so I'm going to drop down to Power Setting 2 and see if we can beat Pedro Acosta or Tony Arbolino or Alberto Arenas, Alonso Lopez, Somkit, Chantrayagur and Kernet, anyone who's in the top 8, with the second power option. I don't know whether this is going to be a good idea, so I'm going to reserve just in case. I will be able to use Power Setting 3 if someone attacks me. I think that's how I'm going to do it today's video. Usually I'll run Power Setting 3 and then try and save the fuel towards the end. This time I'm confident we can stay in Power Setting 2 and keep the lead. So I'm taking a gamble, but I want to make this video interesting, so I'm going to risk it. Now, I have read the comment section, I have seen the results on the poll, and it looks like we are going to MotoGP class in the next season. I have seen that it is a unanimous decision, 80 to maybe less, well it would be, wouldn't it? 80 to 20, because I think there was only 2 options. Percentage is saying that we go for MotoGP. So these races matter even more, because I didn't want to move up to MotoGP unless I secured a Moto2 championship. Now I don't have a choice. You guys are saying go up, we're going to have to do it. So now the pressure is on, get the Moto2 World Championship and get up to MotoGP. I have no idea which team I would sign for. I have already declared my interest to stay in Moto2, so I don't know what the options of bikes will be, if there's even any contracts for MotoGP. I don't know. But what I do know is I've got a bike in mind. If they sign me, then I'm accepting it, but if not, we'll see when it gets to it. But for now, we've got this race to focus on, and we have another 10 laps to get through, so let's see what we can produce. Already in the first split, Pedro Acosta has pulled in quite a few tenths. Now, may I remind you, he is... oh, my mistake. He is our motor... oh, the glitch has occurred. I can't view behind me. You know when you pull... you press the button and it won't look... the rider can't look behind him. Oh no, that's the glitch. I hate that glitch. I don't look behind myself often, but it's good to have when you need it, so that's a shame. But anyway, Pedro Acosta is our championship leader, and we don't want to be losing any points to the number 37. Tony Arbolino recently has begun to struggle. Whether he is going to be still fighting for the championship at the end of the season, I don't know. I mean, he's right in there in the top 3, but his form compared to the start of the season has been completely different. He was on fire for the first couple of races. He was dominant. I think did he take 4 or 5? He may have taken 3 or 4 victories in a row. That's how dominant he was. And now there he is in 3rd place. So he's still in podium position. He's getting those points, but he's not been as competitive as Pedro Acosta or even me in the past couple of races. Now, the previous race in Buda was terrific. It was one of those races where we tried to maintain the lead as much as we possibly could, but thankfully towards the latter stage I did have a bit of fuel just to use and we won that race. If you haven't seen that video, then I apologise for spoiling it, but it is a great race, and I would definitely recommend getting subscribed so you don't miss any of these videos, because we've got a lot more to do and the races just keep seeming to get more and more interesting every single race. But I don't think we can beat the Catalunya race. I think that was by far the most intense battle I've ever had in MotoGP 23. It was phenomenal, but we're 1.4 seconds ahead of Pedro Acosta. We have just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, 1:51.968. Things are looking good, and this would be our 2nd victory in a row. Remember last time, we didn't win for about 8, 9 rounds, 10 rounds in, whatever it was, when we finally took our victory in Assen. And now we're looking at a 4th victory of the season. We actually got 3 victories in a row after not winning anything for the first 8 or 10 races, whatever it actually was. Apologies, a little bit not prepared here for this one, it seems, but I think it was round 8 is when we finally got the victory done, and that was in Assen. So Assen, Silverstone, and then the Red Bull Ring of Austria with 3 victories to our name. And then in Buda, getting back onto the 25 points. It was a very special race to get that done, which clawed our gap back, because we have to win this championship for me. I don't want to be going up without the win. I really don't. We will do it because you guys have said, and as far as I'm concerned, you guys, the ones who watch the content, that's more important than what I want to do. So as far as I'm concerned, we will be going up to MotoGP, but I want to end as a Moto2 World Champion. Can we do it? I guess we'll find out, won't we? But currently as it stands, I don't know if the gap is going to come up on the screen. Usually it pops up every now and again. But we would be 7 points behind Acosta if things stayed the same. 12 points, we reduced the gap last time out in the Indian GP. And then Red Bull KTM IO, of course, with Pedro Acosta still in the lead. But anyway, across the line we got to a 152 to 335, and now coming out of turn 2, the gap's still strong. But may I remind you, if you have been watching this series so far, then big shout out to you guys. Thank you very much for watching the videos. But if you even played MotoGP 23 to longer amount of laps, you'll know the AI gets significantly stronger as the race goes on, and there's 2 reasons for this. The AI do not suffer fuel consumption, and they do not suffer tyre wear. So as this race progresses, we begin to falter, we will begin to struggle. The AI go the other way. They start terribly every single race in Moto2, but towards the end, they will be on fire. They will be kicking down doors and taking names. They are absolutely fierce for the final couple of laps, and that's what I'm concerned about in this race here today. We may be 3 tenths up now. We might be improving our lead, but you never know what's going to happen towards the end. So we're going to have to make sure we are ready. We make sure we have enough fuel. Make sure we've saved enough tyre. Just be prepared for the last part. You never know what's going to happen in these videos. The Buda GP was a prime example of that. Right on the last lap, they caught me up, and it was a tooth and nail fight then for the victory. Very tough to do, but yeah, MotoGP 23 at the moment is definitely my favourite bike game. I am loving the content on this game. The feeling of the career mode has been terrific. Live GP races have been awesome. I'm really enjoying MotoGP 23, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more. But across the line, it is now a 151.735. And now actually we're up to Motegi in the career mode. That reminds me that unfortunately my Racing Guide MotoGP Academy stopped before this track, and that's simply because this track is broken. In the MotoGP Academy mode, in this split here, the rider goes off the track every single time, which invalidates the lap, which stops you from completing the challenge. If you actually watch those series and you're into that, let me know if you still want me to do the video anyway. I don't mind, I can. But it's just frustrating knowing that I can't actually achieve the gold result on Motegi. But as we go under the bridge, the gap is now up to 2.5 seconds, so solid stuff so far. And if you watch the Misano Grand Prix from a couple of days ago, it was a disaster. Really difficult race. The mixed conditions made things just completely dreadful for me. And Pedro Acosta was the one rider who didn't qualify well, benefited purely from the wet weather conditions. So our objective changed. We were originally... the whole game plan in the game was to beat Pedro Acosta. Now they've changed my objective to be in the top 5 in the championship and defeat Somcat Chantra. Finish ahead of Chantra, which we are currently 88 points ahead and 8 seconds in this race. I don't think we should be looking at Chantra as a competition for us to be looking to grow against. We need to be fighting against Acosta and Tony Arbolino. No disrespect to Somcat Chantra, but he's just not had a good season compared to the likes of Acosta, Arbolino and myself. Real life Chantra, absolutely, but not video game Chantra for this moment in time. But across the line, 151.335, so that's another solid lap time. And we're 2.5 seconds ahead. The things are good, but it's been very status quo this video so far. Very relaxed. which is not usually how these videos go. Usually I'm super tense and nervous. I am still tense because I want to win this race, and getting back at Pedro Acosta and earning championship points is what we need. And we're already up to round 14 in today's video. There's only 6 more rounds to go, and then we're going to be MotoGP bound. So pressure is on, and we need to deliver. This will be, what, 4 victories to our name. So if we get the job done today, that could be our 5th victory this season. Who would have thought that if you watched the first 7 rounds of this championship? I couldn't buy a victory. I was Aaron Canet in video game form. I just couldn't get the job done. And there it is. I was waiting for the rider standing. There it is. Pedro Acosta leading the championship by just 7 points. And in return, Tony Arbolino, he is slipping behind. He's 30 points behind now. Sorry, excuse me, 20 points behind. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is when Acosta and myself are so consistent now. Tony Arbolino's got to step up, and he's got to start winning races, both in real life and in game. Tony Arbolino is a terrific rider, but in this game at the moment, he seems to have fallen off from his usual performance. But hard on the brakes, we go into the 90-degree corner. So coming out of the 90 degrees corner and under the bridge, that lap time's not looking too promising. 0.8 of a second down will put us into the low 152, so not a bad lap time, but it's a big drop off from the previous lap. Not as consistent as I was hoping to be. Across the line, it is a 152.4, so that's our slowest lap time since the first lap. Gotta regain some focus here, start pushing. I guess I got a little bit distracted when it came up with the championship standings. I will confess I'm quite bad for that. I'm a bit like Glenn Irwin in British Superbike. He has a tendency of watching the screens to see what's happening behind him, and there's me looking at the at the gaps on the screen and looking at everything else for the championship standings. We don't need to concern ourselves with that. We know what the championship points are, but it's just nice to get confirmation with that graphic on the screen. Now, I do really appreciate how they've added that in. I think it's a really smart feature from Milestone. I like that a lot. But yeah, I guess somewhat it is distracting, but that's not distracting because of them. Distracting because I have the attention span of something very, very little. Attention span of a gnat. I get very distracted very quickly. I don't even know why I have 2 monitors, because it's the worst thing I could do. Racing and getting messages on Discord and stuff popping up is the worst thing ever, because I cannot ignore them. I have to look. Even if it's just to read the first bit of the message, I'll try. But anyway, enough about that. Need to focus. And that's what I'm going to do now. 0.5 of a second is the difference, the delta between the previous lap, the bestest lap, which was of course the fastest lap, which was the 151.335. I'm struggling to do my English today, apparently. We're onto the brakes. I'm actually getting a bit nervous now, I won't lie. The gap's down to 2 seconds. And I'm curious to see what Pedro Acosta's lap times are going to be now. If he goes fastest on this lap, then the panic is going to kick in. We will get across the line in a moment. It is going to be another 151. It is a 151.8. So it's a good recovery. But is it enough? The gap has stabilised. It has increased to 2.3 seconds now. Is it enough to keep the lead? I just don't know. Into the left-hand side for turn 3. And then for the left for turn 4. 2 seconds it is. I'm keeping an eye on that gap. I'm just really, really focusing on it. Into the right-hand side. A little bit deep there for turn 5. Yeah, this is where I'm getting a bit concerned now. I'm making mistakes a little bit too often now. I have struggled with turn 5 all weekend. I know I said I dominated the qualifying, but I won't lie. I was actually a little bit weak in that corner. But I had no issue with the qualifying at all. Oh, let's steady. That was a scary one, that one. As we now go to the brakes of the V corner, very tight as you can. And now we bring on the power, and yeah, 1.8 seconds is the gap. I'm a little bit nervous now. I really don't fancy this happening again. It's going to be Boudreaux all over again, isn't it? We're going to get to the last lap. My lap times fall off a cliff, and the AI gets stronger and stronger. 1.7, 1.6, 1.4. But that's the straight. That's okay. That's the straight. We expect it in those corners, but I don't expect wide moments going into the 90 degrees corner. Got to calm down here. It's the second we're going to be losing on this lap. This puts us back into the 152s. We're deep into turn 13 now. This could be one of the worst laps we've had yet, if not the worst. The gap is now down to 1.5. I hope you've been waiting for this because it's coming. It's a 152.471. It is the worst lap we've done of the entire weekend. This is not promising. 1.5 it is with 3 laps to go. Who is going to be victorious here? No, he's not. I was going to say, is Acosta bringing Arbolino with him, but it doesn't look like he is. Oh, I almost lost the front. Oh my god. I almost lost the front then. That would have been it for sure. Could have been championship over there as well. 1 second is the gap. Oh, we're losing so much time on this lap. We've got to get it together. We've got to keep the composure as Pedro Acosta is on a charge. This is the scariest thing you see. The shark approaching you. It's like having number 93 with a gap. Number 46 behind you. It's just numbers you don't want to see behind you. And now we've got Pedro Acosta charging. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous. Oh, God. Can we keep this lead? Can we hold on for 25 crucial points for a 5th victory this season? You better believe I'm going to go all out. And don't forget, we still have power to use. We still have fuel to burn. Do we need to use it? I want to go without. I really want to try and win this without using the assistance of power setting 3. We're deep into the 90 degrees corner again and we've lost 3/10. The gap is no more in a moment. Oh, we're very tight to the apex again. Losing the front. This is it. This is the moment. Get into power setting 3 the second he passes us because it's coming. Acosta's 3/10 of a second behind. This is our worst lap of the race. It's a 152.5. 2 terrible lap times coming in there for the runner-up in the championship so far. 0.6 of a second we gained in the first split, but this is the straight that I'm worried about. The gap is... Oh, it's down to a 10th. He should be approaching now. Is he going to go for the lunge or is he just going to feel me out? I can't believe for the second race in a row we've been caught up right at the death. We've got one more lap after this one, the penultimate lap. Beckons a lunge from Pedro Acosta, but from where? Into the right-hand side now. He's still not through, but we've gone deep for turn 5. I'm still struggling in the 5th corner here in Motegi. Under the bridge we go, and there goes Acosta! Oh no, he's gone wide. Well, that was fortunate. That was very fortunate. Do we need to go to power setting 3 after all? Okay, first attack has been unsuccessful for the number 37. The former Moto3 World Champion up against the current. Who's going to win this one? I've gone a bit deep there for the V corner. This is where I got took out from. Wow, look at the corner speed. He went round the outside and has a good old look at me as well. A bit like what Tony Arbolino did. I'm not taking any chances. Around the outside, back into the hairpin curve in the lead. Beautifully done. Power setting 3. It is your chance to shine. I need you to help me get across the line and win this one. We're neck and neck. I'm dropping it down to setting 2 now because I think we don't need to use power setting 3 in the final couple of corners. I think it'll just be too much power as Acosta makes a small amount of contact. That really pushed me wide. More gesticulation between the riders as Acosta goes around the outside of me. Beautifully done. I think he's been waiting to do that since Portimao, as I'm going to fire it up on the inside into the victory corner. We make contact again. More gesticulation, more hand waving and disappointment from either of the riders. And now the lap times. We're actually back in the 151s there, even with overtakes. And Tony Arbolino, where the hell did that lap time come in from? Philip Salach, Sam Lowe's, a 159.35. I told you that the AI gets strong, and this is how strong they become. But we're fighting with Acosta now. We are going to go neck and neck with one of the best riders in Moto2, if not the best. What can we do now? Back down to power setting 2. I want to try and make this fair. I don't want to just run away with power setting 3. Here comes Acosta, but we're good on the brakes. We hold the position for now. Deep into turn 5 again. It's going to cost us. Acosta's coming through. He is through. Power setting 3. He's made the mistake again into 130R. We are very fortunate he keeps mucking that up. As long as he does that, we've got a chance. But we do have power steering 3, and we're going to have to use it. Acosta, he was close. Remember last time when he got into a battle, that was in Buda, and he made a mistake. Oh, wide into the V corner. Is he coming through? He's through. This is the worst thing that could have happened. We've got to attack here. We have to attack in the hairpin here. Up on the brakes. Late as we dare. We're now into turn 10. The front end protesting, but we've still got the lead temporarily. I'm not dropping down to power steering 2. We need it. We need the third power option. This is going to be neck and neck across the line. I'm going to put in one of my fastest lap times here on the last lap with the aid of power steering 3, of course. But Acosta, he must have made a mistake because I think we've done it. 0.5 of a second is the gap. 0.3 it is into the victory corner, and victory beckons only one man, and it beckons me. Brilliantly done. We're going to take the victory in a thrilling match here against Pedro Acosta. What a matchup. Wow. Victory is ours. Oh man, that was tough. We do take the 25 points, just ahead of Pedro Acosta and Tony Arbolino in third place. But, ladies and gentlemen, that was a 10-point swing. If we didn't, we'd be looking at what, 17 points behind? And now this time, we're only 7 points behind Acosta. Let's have a look at the championship standings, but what a race that really was. 7 points is the gap, 20 for Tony Arbolino, and Somket Chantry's pretty much out of this one now. He's 97 points behind. Whoa, what a race. Guys, I certainly hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. I will leave you with the team's championship, which I think Red Bull KTM IO have just taken over at the front. Possibly, yes, they have. 4 points ahead of Elfmark VDS Racing, but that puts us in third, which I'm impressed by, but that's it. So guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.